Breaking news! There's tension in the air, uncertainty in the linebacker room, and controversy off the field, everything you'd expect from a team with Super Bowl dreams. Ravens Nation, this one's going to fire you up. The kind of storyline that gets people talking at the tailgate, arguing in the group chat, and waiting anxiously for week 1 to arrive. But before we move on, make sure you hit that like button if you're a true Ravens fan. It's always amazing to see fans of all ages supporting this team. And if you feel like it, comment, "Go Ravens," down below. Let's talk about what's shaping up to be one of the most critical position battles heading into training camp, the inside linebacker clash between Trenton Simpson and rookie Teddy Buchanan. This isn't just about reps and depth charts, this is about identity. Because in Baltimore, being a linebacker means something, and no one is feeling that more than Teddy Buchanan, a name you'd better get used to hearing. The rookie out of Cal is stepping into the pressure cooker with a mindset that is mature beyond his years. After 4 years at UC Davis and a transition to Cal, Buchanan proved he can handle stepping up in competition. Now he's looking to make that same leap to the NFL. But it's not just about talent, it's about attitude. At the Ravens, it means something to be a linebacker, Buchanan said. That's not lip service. That's someone who understands the legacy he's stepping into. From Ray Lewis to Roquan Smith, Baltimore doesn't just produce linebackers, it forges them. Teddy's focus is razor sharp. Control what you can, embrace the grind, and let the results speak for themselves. That's the Saban mindset. That's the Ravens way. Now let's not forget why this battle even exists. Trenton Simpson, once pegged as the future, was benched at the end of last season, and not just in the regular season. We're talking about both playoff games. 0 snaps. That's not just a coaching decision, that's a statement. But to his credit, Simpson hasn't run from the moment. He's trained extensively with Roquan Smith this offseason, hoping to reclaim his role and quiet the doubters. But Teddy Buchanan isn't backing down. In fact, he may be the biggest reason Simpson can't afford to slip for even a second. Buchanan's strength lies in his coverage skills. He's athletic, fluid in space, and brings a high football IQ to a position that demands instinct and aggression. But let's keep it real, he's still raw. Most of his tackles at Cal were assisted, suggesting a need for quicker reads and more explosiveness in pursuit. That said, those things can be developed. What can't be taught is the mental makeup. And Buchanan? He's locked in. So now the question becomes, who do you trust? Do you bank on the redemption arc of Trenton Simpson, the guy who was supposed to be next in line but faltered when it mattered most? Or do you hand the reins to the rookie with the hunger, the humility, and the heart? Moving on to a topic that had fans buzzing all week, Derrick Henry can't stop praising Lamar Jackson. And let's be honest, who could blame him? Appearing on the Rich Eisen show, Henry went all in. He's the best player in the game. That's not your standard quarterback praise. That's one of the most dominant backs of the past decade, calling Lamar the elite of the elite. Henry raved about Lamar's ability to extend plays, his leadership, and that unteachable magic he brings to every snap. The game is never over. A play is never over, Henry said. And when you look at the numbers, it's hard to argue. In 2024, Lamar put up 4,000 yards passing, 41 touchdowns, just 4 picks, and added 915 yards on the ground. That's MVP caliber stuff, and Henry knows it firsthand now. But what's even more exciting? The chemistry between them. These two aren't just stars, they're force multipliers. Together in 2024, they combined for 2,800 rushing yards, 20 touchdowns, and averaged over 6 yards per carry. They're terrifying defenses, demoralizing front sevens, and redefining what a modern offensive backfield can look like. And remember that playoff game against the Steelers? 6 yards a carry against that defense? That's not just dominance, that's a warning shot to the rest of the NFL. But as one duo rises, another story casts a shadow over the team's recent past. Justin Tucker, no longer a Raven, was officially handed a 10-game suspension for violating the NFL's personal conduct policy. And while he can still attend training camp and preseason activities, his absence during the regular season confirms that Baltimore made the right call cutting ties. This wasn't just about football, it was about integrity, about culture, and about protecting the locker room from a distraction no team with championship aspirations can afford. But if you thought that was the only bit of drama this week, hold on tight, because Deontay Johnson managed to stir up the fan base with just one quote. Appearing on the Sports and Suits podcast, Johnson described his short stint with the Ravens in 2024, one that ended in frustration, controversy, and now, apparently, regret. According to Johnson, he refused to enter a game late in the third quarter because, get this, his legs were cold. Yes, you heard that right. And what he believed was a smart decision to protect his tape, Johnson told the coaches, "Nah, I don't think it's a good idea for me," when they asked him to check in. That's not just disappointing, it's infuriating. Imagine being in the middle of a tight game, likely the one against the Eagles, and your team calls on you to contribute. And you say no, not because of injury, not because of a strategic reason, but because your legs were cold. That's not the Ravens culture. That's not football. That's selfish. His stint in Baltimore was short-lived for a reason. After that incident, the team suspended him for a week and shortly after, released him. Say what you will about the initial trade, but give credit where it's due. Cutting him loose may have been the smartest move Harbaugh and DeCosta made all year. Culture matters. Accountability matters. And the Ravens weren't about to let one man compromise that. Because this isn't just a question of who makes more tackles in practice or who calls the shots in the huddle. It's a defining decision for how this defense evolves moving forward. We've seen what happens when a defense lacks a true identity in the middle of the field. The Ravens have long been a team that sets the tone defensively, and it starts with the inside linebacker. It's not just about who knows the playbook, it's about who owns it. Roquan Smith isn't going anywhere, and that's a gift in itself. But his running mate? That's the mystery. Trenton Simpson, despite the rough finish to last season, still has all the physical tools. He's fast, instinctive when locked in, and has shown flashes of being that sideline-to-sideline linebacker. But flashes aren't enough in Baltimore. Not when the expectation is consistency. Not when you're standing next to someone like Roquan, who sets the bar at elite every single week. And that's where Teddy Buchanan has the edge. Not necessarily in raw athleticism, but in approach. He isn't trying to replace Roquan. He's trying to learn from him. That humility, that awareness, it matters. Every coach, every scout will tell you, the guys who thrive in Baltimore are the ones who understand what it means to wear that jersey. Teddy's already said it himself. He feels what it means to be a Raven. That's not fluff. That's culture fitting like a glove. So while the coaching staff will undoubtedly rotate both players during camp and maybe even throughout the early part of the season, make no mistake, the leash on Simpson might be shorter than people think. And Buchanan? He's not just here to participate. He's here to push, to challenge, and maybe to take over. Now shifting gears, there's still one duo that's doing the exact opposite of competing. They're complementing each other like they've played together for a decade. Lamar Jackson and Derrick Henry. Man, we've seen quarterback-running back combos over the years. Brady and Corey Dillon, Rodgers and Aaron Jones, Mahomes and Pacheco, but nothing quite like this. Nothing where the QB is just as dangerous running the ball as the back next to him. Nothing where either one can rip off a 60-yard run and completely change a game. And don't forget, this isn't just highlight stuff. It's efficiency. 20 touchdowns combined. Over 2,800 rushing yards. More than 6 yards per carry as a tandem. That's not just a threat. That's a system. A nightmare for defenses. And maybe most importantly, it's sustainable. Derrick Henry might be in the back half of his career, but in this offense, where the attention is split, the boxes aren't stacked, and the pressure's shared, he could thrive longer than anyone expected. Lamar is still the engine. Make no mistake. But now he's got a hammer running next to him. And Derrick Henry knows it. His public praise isn't just respect, it's validation. Validation that he's in the right place, with the right quarterback, and the right team. This could be the most dangerous version of the Ravens offense we've ever seen, not because of trick plays or flashy formations, but because of violent balance. Pick your poison. Spy Lamar and get run over by Henry. Stack the box and watch Lamar drop 40 on you through the air. But of course, it's not all sunshine in the kingdom. The decision to part ways with Justin Tucker still doesn't sit well with some fans. And fair enough, when you talk about a player who's not just been elite, but historic, moving on is never easy. But now, with the 10-game suspension official, the